YouTube, I'm Kirsty, and in case you missed the first episode of the American Love Island last night, I got you. Okay, so full disclosure, I was binging this on Hulu, the UK one, before I even knew it was coming. So, let's meet the girls, shall we? First we have Caro, a 21-year-old marketing student from LA. We have Alexandra, a 26-year-old publicist who's from Philly but lives in LA. Mallory, a 26-year-old sports analyst from Portland. Alana from Connecticut, who's a 21-year-old student. And Elizabeth, who is an advertiser from New York, and she's 24. The host is Ariel. I think it's Ariel and not Ariel. I don't know. But she sits around with the girls talking about what they want before the guys come in. Now, if you guys don't know how this show works, the girls all stand on a heart, and one by one the guys come in. If the girl is interested, she takes a step forward, but ultimately it's the guy's decision. So the first man that comes up is Cashel, who's from Sacramento. He's 28 and a drummer. So they say, girls, if you're interested, take a step forward. No one steps forward. It reminded me of poor Lauren in season 1 of UK Love Island. But he ends up picking Caro. Next we have Yaman, a 24-year-old real estate agent from LA. Alana steps forward and he picks her. Then we have Zach, who is 22 from Chicago. He's the cashier. And Caro, Mallory, and Elizabeth all step forward. Now remember, Caro is already coupled up because Cashel picked her. Do what you do, girl. She steps forward, but ultimately he picks Elizabeth. Then we have Weston, who's 25 from Dallas and a photographer. No one steps forward again, but he picks Mallory. Finally, we have 29-year-old Michael, who is a model from Miami. Caro steps forward again. Mallory steps forward. And Alexandra. So he picks Alexandra. So we have our couples. They're always going to throw a twist person in there. Our twist girl is Kira. She's 22 from New York and a musician. Basically, she has 24 hours to steal one of the guys. That's going to leave one girl single and vulnerable. Because ultimately, like, if you're single, you go home. I mean, there's other things like America Gets to Vote if you get the app. My phone doesn't really get apps. I have Instagram and I have Uber Eats. So I can, like, take pictures of the food that's delivered. The winning couple could win $100,000. Now, if you're thinking this premise sounds kind of familiar, but you've never watched Love Island before, Paradise Hotel was very similar. I believe it was on last summer. I recently binged that on Hulu. That's why Love Island was recommended to me. If you did not watch Paradise Hotel and you have Hulu, stop. Turn me off right now. Go watch it. It's nuts. It is nuts. So good. Okay, so after the coupling, the girls are discussing their men, and they're really nice about it. Like, well, he's not typically my type, but I like his personality. Kira's anxious because it ends up she gets along really well with all the girls, and ultimately she's going to have to steal one of their men. Caro and Cashel are getting along super well. They talk for like a really long time. But then Cashel goes and like kind of flirts with Kira. But Caro tells the girls later, I'm just getting that friend vibe from him, you know? Alana and Yemen are getting along, and Alana seems super into him. But when she says she's never had a boyfriend before, that like raises up red flags for him. So I think it's kind of she may be more into him than he is into her. Sorry, my dogs are eating, if you're wondering what that horrible sound is. And the dryer's going. I don't know what you hear. You might just hear me. If you're lucky. No, I'm kidding. Kira says she likes Yemen, Zach, and Weston. Now, Alana didn't hear this. I think she would flip out. Mallory gets really nervous because even though she's not super into Weston, like, they're coupled. She doesn't want him stolen. But then Kira goes and tells Weston that she's kind of into him, which he said he really respects. He likes a girl that can just come up and say that. Mallory tells the girls that she's kind of worried, so they say to politely stake her claim. But then that night, like, okay, they all share beds. The couples, like, first night share a bed, and then Kira's sleeping by herself. But the first night, Weston, like, kisses Mallory's forehead goodnight. It's kind of cute, right? Okay. The next day, Weston tells Zach he's starting to like Kira. Then Kira talks to Yemen, and they're talking about past relationships, and she says that I think her longest relationship was 2 years, and it was with a woman. He kind of freaked out about that. Like, I think he was, like, super into it, but he was very dramatic about the whole thing, which I myself am very dramatic, so I can appreciate drama recognizes drama. Now, although Caro originally said that she and Cashel were just total friends, she's starting to have feelings for him and she doesn't want to lose him. So she pulls him outside to talk to him about Kira, and she kisses him. We have our first mouth kiss in the house. But Kira tells some of the girls she's kind of starting to feel Cashel a little bit too, but also Weston and also Yemen and maybe Zach. Cashel and Kira go and talk, and he says she gives him flutters. Caro immediately runs up to Kira. He's like, what'd you talk to him about? What are you guys saying? Like, he's supposed to be open and honest with me, and he won't tell me about your conversation. And Kira's like, yeah, he's one of the ones I'm feeling. And Caro's like, why didn't you tell me that? So then it's the recoupling. It's the moment we've been waiting for. Kira is front and center, and she needs to pick herself a man. End of episode. I know there was one on tonight before Big Brother, but since I hadn't watched the premiere, I didn't want to get out of order, so I'll watch that one tomorrow. Anyway, that was Love Island. If you're looking for a podcast, me and my friend Oz Banks do one called Beyond Serious. It's on Apple Tunes or BeyondSerious.com or wherever podcasts are, iHeartRadio. You can follow me on Twitter at always_KIRSTIE. I live tweet things and sometimes I'm funny. Thank you to my new subscribers. I really appreciate it. You have no idea how much. And I'm sorry I'm kind of blowing up your notifications today. I'm trying to get all my wrestling shows, all my reality shows. Today was a busy day for Kirsty. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow with episode 2 and then 3 of Love Island if things go properly. Bye!